What is up, Myro Muffinators? I like Earthbound. I know, how original, but considering the Mother series in general is regarded as a masterclass in video games, I guess that's to be expected of. I mean, like seriously, the amount of things that have happened simply because of Earthbound is nuts. Like this shit inspired the likes of Undertale, Fangamer. I know, trust me, that whole thing is a rabbit hole. And all the other quirky Earthbound inspired RPGs. But this video's not about Earthbound. And it's not about Earthbound's sequel for the GBA, Mother 3. No, this video's about Mother 1, or Earthbound Zero, or Earthbound Beginnings, if you really want to call it that. This game is the NES game that started the entire Mother series. Now, to be honest, for a while, I had only played a little bit of Mother 1. I basically had only played it on those shitty web browser emulators that give you a virus, right? So, I had a little bit of experience with this game. Now at first I was gonna play through the leaked English prototype Earthbound Zero, but then a hippie crashed my game, and trust me, that's an entire rabbit hole in of itself. So yeah, eventually I just decided to play the GBA fan translation for this game, which is also a compilation with Mother 2, finally giving me an excuse to play through Earthbound again. But again, this video is not about Earthbound. It's about Mother 1. So, yeah. Now, I should probably explain why I chose the GBA version. And I chose it for, two reasons. One, it doesn't crash on modern hardware. And two, it has the Easy Ring, which, yeah, I know, laugh at me all you want, because this guy played the game on its piss easy difficulty. He's such a baby. But let me just say, this game can be fucking atrocious at times, right? So, yeah. Also, the translation isn't complete dog shit like in Earthbound Zero, so I guess there's that too. So, yeah. Time for my overtly long summary about Mother 1. Let's do this. I suggest if you haven't already clicked off the video, to go grab some popcorn or some water. I don't really know. I'm gonna stop yapping now and just get on with it. So, yeah, George and Maria are just kidnapped by some aliens in the 1900s, and then George eventually escapes with the knowledge of PSI and then becomes a hermit of sorts. Also, if you don't know, PSI is basically the magic equivalent of the Mother series. So, yeah, I don't think I need to. If you've played Earthbound, I don't think I need to explain what PSI is. So, yeah, TLDR, it's magic, but legally distinct. So, yeah. Years later, Nintendo, George's ancestor, then leaves home after his house is attacked by a fucking poltergeist. So, yeah, wild start to an NES RPG. Now, I really like the early game for Mother 1 thematically, but unfortunately, like its sequel, Mother 2, it fucking sucks to play. Alright, now, the first thing I should probably mention that sets Mother 1 apart from its contemporaries is that Mother 1 uses random encounters like Pokemon. The second thing is that, like in most Mother games, Nintendo is pretty fucking weak at the start of this game, and like in Mother 2, most enemies can fucking nuke them if given the chance. Not to mention, unlike Ness in Earthbound, who has at least one decent attacking move, PK rocking can deal with most enemies, Nintendo's PSI moves, they're all support based, meaning all you can do is just use PK life up and grind. Now, Nintendo does get one move that makes a lot of this way better, and that's the 4th D slip, or dimension warp if you're a person who played the GBA fan translation. Basically, this gives you an 100% chance to escape any battles. Trust me, this will be really fucking useful. So, yeah. Now, now, getting back on track, I like this part because in Mother 1, Ninten's a kid who just found out about PSI, right? He has to pay. The only reason he's going on this adventure is because a poltergeist was fucking around in his house, right? In Earthbound, this is really contrasting with Earthbound, where, a fucking asteroid lands outside Ness's house, and he's told that the world's gonna end in 10 years unless he does something about it. And I think this sentiment can also be reflected in Mother 1's most common battle theme, Dangerous Foe, which would be remixed in Earthbound as Sanctuary Guardian. In Mother 2, or Earthbound, they're the same game, by the way. I should probably mention that. Sanctuary Guardian is reserved for those bosses of the same name, and is a lot calmer and psychedelic. I attribute this to Ness, despite the danger, being eager to save the world, while Dangerous Foe is faster and threatening due to Ninten being, at the end of the day, just a kid who's trying to figure out what's going on, and probably, scared of the fact that, I don't know, a fucking hippie, or, is fucking jumping him or something. I don't really know. So, yeah, not to mention, Dangerous Foe is also, again, the most common battle theme in the game. Probably due to most enemies being able to nuke Ninten. So, yeah, tangent over. Ninten then speaks with the mayor of Podunk, or Mother's Day, I guess. Fun fact, actually, in the Japanese version, all the towns are named after holidays, as opposed to Earthbound Zero, where they're all given, random town names. This is because Phil Sandhop, the game's main translator, thought the holiday names sounded fucking stupid, which is hilarious to me. So, yeah. Anyways, Ninten talks to the mayor, he goes to the graveyard, and then he rescues Pippi, who, fun fact, is incredibly powerful, seriously. I don't know what the devs were cooking when they made Pippi, because Pippi is an absolute unit. Unfortunately, I decided to immediately return Pippi to the mayor. And another thing to mention, if you talk to Pippi, she'll give you an item and answer the questions accordingly. Pippi will give you a Franklin badge. The Franklin badge is important because, unlike in Earthbound where it blocks PK Thunder, in this game it only blocks stronger versions of PK Beam, a PSI move exclusive to this game. This is because stronger variants of PK Beam can, get this, fucking insta-kill you. Seriously, what the actual fuck? Now, but luckily, there are only two. Unfortunately, however, there are only 2 Franklin badges in the entire game, which I know, maybe it's a blessing or maybe it's horrible. I don't really know. Think of that what you will. I'll talk about the other Franklin badge when we get to it. So, yeah. You can also, now, at this point, you can either head to the zoo or return a baby canary, which you can buy from the store, back to their mom. In fact, if you return the baby canary to their mother, they'll be so happy, they'll start singing a song. I'm sure this isn't important and just a fun side quest. Anyways, at the zoo, which is a main point of contention, Ninten is pitted against both wild animals and the Starman Jr., who, let me just say, not only is he, fucking tiny in this game, he's got a nasty sunburn, jeez. Jeez, he's just red in this one. He's just completely red, jeez. I guess he took tanning a little too far or something. So, yeah. After this, you can find a talking monkey This talking monkey actually appears at the start of the zoo section. He takes the keys to the zoo, but luckily the door was already unlocked, so that doesn't really matter. The monkey also calls you a stinky poo-poo head if you don't even have the keys. So, yeah. The monkey also sings a song. So, yeah. I don't know about these songs. I don't know why people keep singing them, but I am sure it's just a recurring theme. So, yeah. After this, a pathway to the next town opens up, so that's cool. Now, by the way, Mother 1 is a game about exploring. It's about figuring out what to do and where to go by yourself. Figuring out shit. But unfortunately, I'm too lazy, so I just pulled up a guide. So yeah, on your way to the next town, you can find a weird cave with a weird shell. Interacting with it takes you to Magicant. Magicant's weird, right? It's a cloud paradise, right? Everyone's dressed like in some wizard robes and shit, like it's Hogwarts. And people will heal and house you for free. It also sells some of the game's best armor. And the enemies give decent XP here. You also meet Queen Mary, who gives you the game's main task. Find 8 melodies to a song she forgot. You shouldn't already have 3, as you get one from a doll at Nintendo's house, and they've already mentioned the canary's mother and the zoo's talking monkey. So yeah, that's 5 more to go. Now, to leave Magicant, you must go into a well, which leads to a dungeon, which kind of fucking sucks considering this game's wild random encounter rate, and I'm kind of stupid, so I had some trouble with getting out of the maze. So yeah, the main part of the well dungeon is short, but it's got a lot of things. You can find a dragon who you cannot wake up now, but trust me, he'll be important later. You can also fight a fish who, upon beating him, will allow you access to the Onyx Hook, which allows you to travel to Magicant at will. It's pretty useful, considering Magicant allows you to heal for free and save for free. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking useful. And, yeah, after talking to absolutely nothing, you're let out right outside Marysville, the game's next town. Here, you can head to an elementary school. Listen, it was a different time back then, alright? Here, you can meet kids who openly diss some guy named Lloyd. And now, you can meet Lloyd and get him to join your party if you give him a bottle rocket from Sweet's Little Factory. And after you and Lloyd thoroughly destroy the science lab, you and Lloyd make your way to Duncan's factory to fire an even bigger rocket. Now, although I had to grind Lloyd, and yeah, fun fact, some of the party members in this game start at level 1, so you're gonna have to grind them in Magicant and also hook them up with some armor. So, yeah, awesome. Anyways, this part of the game is my favorite section of Mother 1, alright? And where I truly began to love this game. Let me put it into perspective for you. Lloyd has spent his life being bullied by his peers to the point where he hides in a fucking trash can. Hell, the game even makes fun of him. The game refers to him as a sissy and a wimp. Imagine your own fucking video game referring to you as a pussy in the context of it. Imagine. The only person who's willing to be Lloyd's friend is Nintendo. And this part, at its core, is just 2 friends fucking around. And the theme for this section, aptly titled Being Friends, is perfect for this as well. Anyways, Duncan's factory, which apparently, during Mother 1, fun fact, Duncan is hiding out in Tokyo after trying to build a fucking strip club. This game truly takes place in modern America. Anyways, while it is huge and can be brutal, I didn't think it was that hard, you know? No, I was using a map that was titled Fuck You, Duncan. So, yeah. In Duncan's factory, you can also finally find the second Franklin badge. Now, you should have 2 Franklin badges already, since Pippi gives you one. So, yeah. Yeah. I should also probably mention, Lloyd doesn't have access to PSI. Like Jeff in Mother 2, Lloyd must use weapons like bottle rockets, bombs, lasers, and a fucking flamethrower. Because, god damn it, the Mother series loves to have random kids who just pull out military-grade weapons. Also, I don't even think incendiary weapons are allowed in war, so that makes Lloyd a fucking war criminal. Keep that in mind, I guess. That's just food for thought. Anyways, launching Duncan's rocket breaks a boulder, giving you access to the train station. Now, the train station can take you to various locations, which are all pretty important, right? You can also get a hat, which can be important. If you head to Snowman and somehow power through the hordes of ridiculously tough polar bears and wolves, you can meet Anna at a church. Anna will give you her hat, and after she says that Nintendo appeared in her dreams, she joins the party. Also, her mother was kidnapped, so I guess there's that too. Now, Anna is a glass cannon with very little HP, but she can also use some of the strongest PSI moves in the game. So, yeah. So yeah, I guess you can also head to Spokane, where you get jumped by a Starman after staying in a hotel. After I guess now, unfortunately, Mother 2 would shamefully steal this, or I guess it wouldn't shamefully steal this because Mother 2 is a fucking sequel to this game. So yeah, after this, you head into Rosemary Mansion, which again, if you have a map, it's not that bad. But the enemies here are dog shit annoying. Some are fast, some do nothing but call for help, and some have the ability to petrify you. What is petrification? Well, in this game, it's basically being diamondized, but without, being turned into a diamond. You just get turned to stone and your sprite freezes. So yeah. Also, in some places of the mansion, a voice will tell Ninten he's gonna fucking die and shit, which is like, what the fuck? He's only a kid, dude. What the hell? Anyways, the manor's main MacGuffin is a piano, which gives you another melody. So yeah. The next big area is the Yucca Desert, and despite having some fire music, like seriously, this shit is a banger, like crazy, bro. It also, like most important areas in Mother, is huge. Trekking through the desert and making through some of its very strong foes, you'll eventually find a cactus, which will bag you your next melody. You'll also find a pilot who will fly you around the desert and most of the Mother world in general, giving you ticket stubs. If you get 10 of these stubs, you'll get a ride in a fucking tank. Once you get the tank, you can head to some ruins where you're attacked by a robot named R7038. This guy is going to be a recurring character. A big robot who gets all his attacks reflected back at him by a tank, and he goes down, but not before taking the tank with him. This leads into the next area, the Monkey Grotto, where you meet a bunch of monkeys and a penguin who are all pathological liars. This area also has a shit ton of PSI stones, which can restore your PP. I know. Laugh. Ha ha ha, guys! He said PP! That's so funny! Anyways, you can also find a single quick capsule, which I only know of because I checked the map, by the way. So, yeah. Anyways, at the bottom of the Monkey Grotto is another shell, which takes you back to Magicant. At this point, you should be pretty beefed up, especially if you're still using the Easy Ring. Now, I should probably bring this up. I only used the Easy Ring up to my first Magicant visit, where I swapped it out with all the armor you can buy there. So yeah, if you're level 25 or higher, you can now do two things. One, you can hear a song by a guitar dude, which reveals where all 8 melodies are. And you can also head into the Well Dungeon and wake up the dragon. Now, you can do it later, but I decided to do it at this point because I can, this is RPG. This Mother 1 gives you a lot of leniency on this stuff. Now, this dragon is pretty tough with strong PSI moves and physical attacks that can nuke you. And although you can nullify his PSI moves with PK block, you'll still need to contend with his physical attacks, but eventually he will go down, giving you your next melody. Exiting Magicant will put you north of Youngtown, and Youngtown is strange. There are no adults because they've all been apparently abducted by aliens, and the town is overrun by little kids. And these kids say some wild shit. These kids say they want milk. Now, listen. I want to say something here, but I don't want to sound like a fucking creep, so I'm not going to say anything. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about this section because I don't want to sound like a fucking creep. So, yeah. You can also heal for free in Youngtown because the kids don't understand the concept of money, but unfortunately, the shop is still open, and I also bought a frying pan here thinking it would be a better thing for Anna. I got completely fucked over, dude. This is a game that truly takes place in modern America, let me just say. Anyways, you can also meet the Garricksons, who have a baby, using telepathy on this baby. And yes, Ninten has telepathy. Why have I not mentioned it previously? Because it's not fucking important, obviously. This baby will give you teleportation, which like in Mother 2, will basically have you go in a straight line gathering speed, and eventually you'll teleport. But if you hit anything, you just explode and have to do that all over again. You can also apparently use the D-pad to move your characters while teleporting, which I did not know. Most of my strategy with using teleport was just heading over to Magicant since there's a lot of flat space there and using teleport to go to my desired location, so I didn't have to walk all the way back there. So yeah, the next area is a swamp. It's big, it has tough enemies, but there's a house where you can meet Lloyd's dad, who allows the player to register their name. I decided to put in Drizzy Drake because I'm the comedian. Also, Pippi's here too, so that's funny. After the swamp is Valentine, or LA, or basically just the game's final town. Around this town are the Blah Blah Gang, who are kind of weak, but they can drop fucking flamethrowers, which are like Lloyd's equivalent to PK Fire, so they're pretty good. You can also find the guy who gave the tank to you back in Yucca Desert. You'll have to pay him back, but it's like $200. It's $200. I'm pretty sure tanks cost more than that. 0 to 10. This is a game that does not take place in modern America. Shigesato Otoy, you should have done your research. Come on, man. Seriously. I've only done like one Wikipedia search on modern capitalism, and I think I know a little bit more than you. So yeah. Anyways, side tangent over. There's also a Lifehouse where you can buy tickets from a scalper or the department store. And once you're in the lighthouse, you, Lloyd, and Anna can perform a show. The song here, All I Needed Is Good, well, in the game, it's just like, a theme. There's no vocals. There is an album cover for this. That's right. There was another album made by a bunch of obscure singers. And All I Needed Was You was on it. This one is this whole song is basically like how friendship changed the characters' lives and stuff, and how friendship makes everything better, and it's pretty sweet. Especially, it's even good in the NES game where there's no potential for vocals in the tracks. So yeah. I don't really know what to say here. Side tangent over. After this, Teddy, who is the leader of the Blah Blah Gang, will confront you. And after... It will confront you, basically because you beat the shit out of his gang. And after a short brawl, Teddy reveals his parents died on Mount Atoy. Meaning in reality, Teddy's just a troubled guy who lost his parents. So Teddy joins the party and kicks out Lloyd. Which, come on, man. The fucking disrespect Lloyd's been through. He cannot catch a break, man. Justice for my boy. And thank God. And Teddy's not level 1. So you can head straight to the game's final dungeon and the area and the worst part of this game. In fact, I would stand to reckon that Mount Atoy is the worst dungeon ever created in video game history. That's right. Alright, let me break it down for you. The road to Mount Atoy... On the road to Mount Atoy, enemies can range from easy to kill to wiping your whole team in one fatal blow. You can also be jumped by 3 enemies at once. Now, if you grind... Now, you could say, oh, you can grind and it will be no trouble. Okay, let's say you do grind. There's a heal. Luckily, you can find a healing hut outside Mount Atoy's entrance, which gives you a free rest and some healing items. Alright, the first section of Mount Atoy itself is a cave, which gives you access to the party's best items. The Hall of Fame bat for Ninten, the katana for Teddy, and Anna has the iron skillet. I forgot the name of this initially, so I had to check the wiki for the official Earthbound wiki for this. But Anna's offense is dog shit, so it doesn't really matter anyways. This cave fucking sucks, considering you can get jumped by Starmen who have access to stronger variants of PK Beam, which can insta-kill anyone without the Franklin badge. And after you get out of the cave, now you must contend with the even stronger foes that reside outside Mount Atoy, right? These range from fucking enemies called Satania to bears that, if they feel threatened enough, will fucking obliterate one of your party members in a self-destruct type attack. Anyways, you'll reach a healing house. This is your one safe haven on Mount Atoy. It allows you to heal your party and allows you to save for free. The other healing house did not. There's also a door here. After you walk through this door, Teddy will leave Ninten and Anna to their own devices. Ninten and Anna will then begin to dance. Despite me hating Mount Atoy with all my heart, this part is good, because despite all the madness, love still prevails, and these two get a short break from the chaos. This part is just nice, right? This part is just nice. It's a break from the madness that is Mount Atoy and its fucking enemies Spam, right? Anyways, Anna Anna, Anna admits she loves Nintendo, yada yada yada, a bunch of lovey-dovey type shit. So yeah, what do you think's gonna happen next, guys? What do you think's gonna happen next? Do you think A, Nintendo and Anna are gonna kiss? B, Teddy's gonna interrupt the moment, and they're all just gonna go on their merry way to the rest of Mount Toy? Or C, they're gonna all get fucking jumped by R703X, who has returned, and get fucking obliterated. If you guessed C, congratulations, you're right. They all go fucking down. Luckily, before all hope is lost, R0738 is fucking obliterated with a tank and saves the party. Now, who is piloting this tank? It was our boy Lloyd, but unfortunately, he was too late, so he has to rush the party back to the healing house. Not the healing house near on Mount Toy itself. No. It's the fucking hut from the outside the entrance. You're put all the way back at the start. Teddy, now, while Nintendo and Anna recover pretty easily, Teddy is put in critical condition, and Lloyd finally takes his rightful place in the party. This is where I believe, thematically, this is where I believe Lloyd's story comes full circle. The wimp, coward, and wuss returns to save the team from certain death and prove himself. While it's cool thematically, again, now you have to climb out to Toy again. Fuck you, Lloyd. I see why the game calls you a wimp, you piece of shit. I guess I'm being too hard on Lloyd, but then again, I had a lot of trouble with Mounted Toy. Keep in mind, I didn't have the easy ring, so yeah. Anyways, now once you're back at the Mountain's healing house, you can finally head to Mounted Toy's next section, the lake. Here you can find a boat, which you can pilot into a whirlpool, leading you into a lab. This lab belongs to George, Nintendo's late grandpa. Here you meet Eve, a robot with only one prime directive, to protect Nintendo. Now, Eve can one-shot most enemies here, so yeah, chances are you probably want to grind here. Now, I decided to climb up the rest of Mount Toy. Now, here you can also get a C pendant, which halves all damage taken by PSI moves to a party member. I gave it to Anna because Anna's, again, a fucking glass cannon. She needs all the help she can get. So yeah, now eventually near the end of Mount Toy, you'll get jumped once more by, guess who? R7038XX. That's right. One more X and things would get pretty suspicious. I can't believe I just made that joke. I am so sorry. Anyways, Eve then has to self-destruct in order to kill R738038XX once and for all. Eve then gives you a melody and a memory chip, allowing you to teleport to her corpse. Now, most of my party died on the way to the last area, so I had to climb Mount. Now, most of my party died during the areas leading up to the third and final R7038XX fight. So, unfortunately, I had to go alone with just Lloyd, and I used the memory chip, thinking it would activate the next section, and then I got teleported back to Eve and fucking died. So I had to climb Mount Toy all over again. Eventually, I figured out the memory chip just teleports you to Eve. So I just did that. So yeah. Also, shout out to 4th D Slip or Dimension Slip or whatever you want to call it. That move came in so clutch during this section. You don't understand. So yeah. Eventually, I made it to the final part of Mount Toy, which is a grave. This grave belongs to George, who heals your party and gives you the final melody. Now you must head to Magic Camp. Now you must head back to Magic Camp to play the song to Maria. Now, at this point, I re-equipped the Easy Ring because I was fucking done with this game's random encounters, and I was not risking another jumping from Mount Toy. So, yeah. Now, showing all the melodies to Queen Mary will reveal she's Maria, and while abducted by aliens, she took care of an alien named Gygus. And although he hated it, Maria sung him the 8 melodies in the form of a lullaby. And Maria then passes on into the afterlife, disabling the Onyx Onyx hook, and destroying Magic Camp forever. Now, Mount Toy is basically over at this point, so I should probably explain why I believe it fucking sucks. Firstly, it's way too long and drags on, and not to to mention, the enemies can instantly wipe you off the face of the earth. Now, my second reason is because a lot of major story beats happen here. Like, it's like everything was just crammed in here all at once, right? And not to mention the amount of grinding you have to do here to even like to make this section to make the fights here relatively good or manageable is fucking insane. Listen, I don't have time to grind to level 40, all right? Not to mention, Mount Toy itself was untested and unbalanced due to time constraints. So yeah, Mount Toy sucks, and it justifies the easy ring making the game piss easy. So yeah. Yeah. Also, hearts out to anyone who did this version on the original NES version. Y'all, I have respect for you people, considering you had to go through this unbalanced mess without the easy ring to rely on. Now, I think the only way I can see Mount Toy being even somewhat manageable is if it was just fucking shorter. Like, surely you could have made the dungeon just a bit shorter. You could have cut out some of the work here, surely. But again, this is an NES RPG, so obviously it's gonna be hard. Anyways, enough about me bitching about Mount Toy. I bet you're all tired of me acting like a nihilistic fuck, so I'll just continue. TLDR, Mount Toy sucks, and the easy ring was my final fuck you to the game. Anyways, the final section of Mother 1 is actually not that bad. Is kind of hard, but I would rather do that than go through Mount Toy. All right. So yeah, there are two. It's basically just a cave with two exits. One has all of the grown-ups from Youngtown and Anna's mom all locked up in various tubes. The second exit leads you out of the cave and shows an alien spaceship rise from the ground. This triggers the final battle. Now you must fight against Gygus, who, unlike in Mother 2, is not an incomprehensible monster, but just an alien dude in like a pod thingy. Gygus, like an Earthbound, hits you with various incomprehensible attacks while talking about how humans suck and Georgia betrayed their people, and now he is going to kill all humans. You know, ugly, hideous Earth people suck. They need to be destroyed. Yap, yap, yap. Blah, blah, blah. Then he talks about how he's going to spare Ninten, and Ninten obviously refuses, causing Gygus to basically fire off constant incomprehensible attacks. Now you get a new option. You must sing the 8 melodies to Gygus, causing him to writhe in pain as if he's listening to a Drake song. Now, remember what I said about the final part of the game being hard? This is why. The Gygus fight is hard, because Gygus will hit your party with all these incomprehensible attacks, which will do a lot of damage. My strategy here was basically just to use a bunch of PK quickens on Anna in the first section, and then just use PK Healing Pie, which can heal all your party members so that no one got absolutely obliterated. I also got like obliterated by Gygus 2 times, so yeah. Anyways, after completely singing the 8 melodies to Gygus will curse humanity and Ninten and then leave, but not before swearing he'll return. The game then ends. And fun fact, this game uses the English prototype's extended ending, which sees Teddy recovering and becoming a singer, Anna and the citizens of Youngtown reuniting with their parents, Lloyd being regarded as a hero. Thank God my boy finally gets some respect on his name, and Ninten goes home and takes a nap, only for his dad to tell him some new shit's come up. I should probably, despite the game's flaws, and believe me, there are a lot of them, you can even soft lock yourself at some points in the game, which is hilarious. I believe Mother 1 is a great game. If you've played now, do I believe you should play this game as your first Mother game? No, you should play Earthbound. It's a much more polished experience. But Mother 1 can really show you how it laid the groundwork for Earthbound, and in some cases did some things better. For instance, the characters, the themes. I don't know. The characters, the themes, listen. if Mother 2 had a section similar to the being friends section of Mother 1, it would be the greatest game ever made in the history of RPGs, all right? I stand by that. So yeah, dude, because of its themes, characters, and all that other jazz, I love Mother 1 and I believe if this video has taught you anything, it's that you should play it too. Also, I fucking hate hippies. I have been Muffin Lord. I don't know what to put here. Free my boy Lloyd. I don't really know here. I don't know. The Mother 2 review will drop in the year 2047. Goodbye.